Marcel. I write a blog, Lesser Known Gems, and today I have a confession. I found a booktube community due to bookshelf tours. You know the video I'm talking about, where the film pans over the bookshelves so you see the individual books while the owner reads out the title and author, and I could sit and listen to that for hours, or technically watch that for hours, just going from one bookshelf to another bookshelf. Then it hit me, what am I getting out of it? I mean, what am I getting out of watching these kind of videos? And I didn't have a good answer, so I stopped watching them. But now I had already been introduced to the booktube community, and I then went off to watch other videos, and I saw that TBRs and book hauls were the kind of videos that were the most popular, and they had sort of the same thing, or quite a similar thing, as a bookshelf tour. Now, Marlena Lina links to her video down below, did make a video where she talked about why book hauls and TBRs were the most popular on booktube, and she talked about the aesthetics. She said that when you do a bookshelf tour or do a TBR or do a book haul, it's more visually pleasing because you are holding up a book next to your face, and ergo using the medium of film more effectively. And I do understand that. I mean, a lot of books do have a kind of aesthetically pleasing exterior. They have to, because their products are meant to sell, and having pictures like this do sell the product. And she does have a point with that. That is something that is visual. Me just sitting here and talking about things isn't necessarily that visual. But then I found something else. I found List Challenge. Now, List Challenge is a website where users can create lists, and then other users can go in and check off whatever the list is about. Either it's about places you've been, things you've done, music you've heard, films you've seen, or books you've read. And again, I found this fascination with, well, in addition to the book challenges list, having the bookshelf lists, going into the different bookshelves that people have created and ticking off all of the books that I've read that was on this list. And again, I was stumped. Why am I so fascinated with just going through these lists of books? I mean, not talking about them, not knowing anything about them, just lists of books. So addictive. I mean, but why are they so addictive? So let's go to kindergarten, or first and second grade, and it's lunchtime. And you see the children grabbing their packed lunch and sitting down next to one another. And your one child leans over and asks, "So what did you get?" And the other child looks at them with his big eyes and gets, "Cheese! Woo! I also had cheese!" And then the second child gets, "Yes!" And then the two children are best friends for the rest of the day, because they had that in common, that they both had cheese in their packed lunch. And that's where I think some of my fascination with bookshelves and stuff like that come from. The same fascination with children realizing whether or not they have the same packed lunch as the other child. You and I have something in common. It's absolutely arbitrary. It's so ridiculous because it doesn't say anything about whether or not we like the same things, but you and I have the same thing. And I think that maybe is an innate need in people. The fact that, okay, I'm not weird because we have this thing in common. Okay, so maybe I'm weird with everything else, but because you and I share this thing in common means that I can't be weird in this regard. So realizing that maybe that we share the same books, that we've read the same books, that we like the same books, that we own the same books, is a way of safeguarding ourselves from feeling weird for liking the things we like, because there's other people who like the things we like. There are other people who like the same books we like, and ergo we can't be weird for loving those books because we're not alone in our passion. But then again, that's just my theory. So here's the thing. I'm now going to show you my bookshelves. I'm not going to go into details because that would take a very long time, but I'm going to show my bookshelves. And I'm also going to leave a link on List Challenge where I've named all of the books on my bookshelf. And I'm just going to talk about the fiction. I'm not going to talk about my poetry or my non-fiction because it would take too much time. So just my fiction. And I want you to go into that link and tick off all of the books that you read that are on my bookshelf. And then leave a comment down below how you did. And let's see if we are... well, or if I am very weird for my taste in books, or if maybe I'm not as weird as people would think. if you like bookshelf tours, and you probably do, they are the most popular videos on BookTube, why do you think you like them so much? Leave a comment down below. And remember, it's better to be a witty fool than a foolish wit.